true. I'm everything you ever were afraid of. I am eternal, child. I am the eater of worlds and of children. And you are next.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Here we are, Wednesday Night Kill. Let's just start this thing off, man. Big rest in peace to Tim Curry.
Yeah,
we grew up on Tim Curry, man. We grew up on him. So,
man, it's this one hits, man, because he his repertoire of work, and what's crazy. I'm surprised you had no clips of him as the scariest demon fighting young Tom Cruise. And just having so much charisma every time he's on screen. And I'm talking about the movie Legend.
Yes.
Look, he looked terrifying in that.
Yeah.
But under all of that great practical effects makeup was the great Tim Curry.
Yeah. So talented, versatile. He could do anything. He did comedy. He was fantastic in Clue. We did a deep dive on Clue years ago. Like, probably no one watching this tonight saw it, but one of our favorite comedies back in the 80s, and Tim was a big part of that wonderful ensemble cast. But even in a big ensemble cast, Tim always stood out. Rocky, of course, Rocky Horror Picture Show. I mean, he was just fantastic. And in my opinion, and we've said it before because we've done Battle Worlds, with his film Legend, and also with It versus It. He's still my Pennywise. I mean, I love Skarsgård. I give credit to Skarsgård because Welcome to Derry, he stepped up. That stepped him up. I was telling Coriander when we were watching the show, I was like, Bill's coming close to Tim, But think about that though. He had 2 movies and a whole series, you know what I mean? And that speaks to how great Tim Curry was, with no CGI, only his talent. And obviously, practical effects. Tim Curry,
and it was a mini series.
Yes. And it's been crazy. For you guys that are here, we appreciate y'all a lot. We're gonna be doing a couple things tonight. But again, rest in peace to Tim Curry. We weren't able to stream last week because of a StreamYard glitch, but I'd be remiss, and some of you guys in the chat know this. A lot of you guys don't. You need to, but I want to just on live, on our channel, say a big rest in peace to Reggie Bannister from the Phantasm films. Fantastic character, underrated franchise, super underrated horror icon in The Tall Man. and Kill and we've been talking. I've even been talking to Coriander. We're gonna revisit the Phantasm franchise and hopefully bring more people into the fold, because it's such an underrated franchise. 5 films over multiple decades with pretty much the same cast the whole time, and Reggie was a big part of that. And of course, Kill. Again, a big rest in peace to Hayden Panettiere. Just a fantastic young actress. Grew up as an actor, just so many great things. Heroes, loved that show. She was great. Scream 4, one of my favorite films in the franchise. It was great seeing her come back in 6. Crazy stuff. And lastly, I'd be remiss if I did not take a moment. And this one kind of hit me hard in a different type of way, Kill, because the last 2 mornings, I've been watching the news and stuff. But I just want to say a big rest in peace to the queen. Like, let's just call it what it is. The queen of country.
Yeah.
Dolly Parton. We grew up on Dolly too, Kill. I mean, she was just so talented as an artist. She was talented as an actor. I mean, this is crazy. Just, and what I've didn't know a lot about, which I've learned in the last 2 days of her unfortunate passing, is she did so many cool things.
Yes, she did.
For people. Okay.
Yes.
And when I say people, I mean everybody. It doesn't matter where you come from, who you are, what views you have in life. She was a true humanitarian. Started her book association for reading, just so many things. So many, I can't name them all, but it really touched my heart. Just kind of learning a little bit more about that in the last 2 days. And she was awesome, man. She really was. And great music. She transcended country. You know what I'm saying? Like, growing up, we everybody knew who Dolly Parton was. I mean, you say you're like, yeah, okay. That's how much she touched the world. And I've seen a lot of the tributes people have been doing, even across the pond. They were doing tributes and stuff like that. So definitely a rest in peace to the queen of country music. It's a tough one, man. It's been a tough 2 weeks.
Yeah, it has.
It really has. But anyways, guys, thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Definitely, and let us know what you think too. Just real quick before we get into some of our other stuff, Kelly's in the house and has a channel anniversary. All right, 14 months, man. Time flies. I always say that, as we always realize, time flies so fast. She says 14 months and counting. Love this community. Here's to 14 more. Oh, well, thank you so much. Seriously.
Yeah,
we appreciate you. And a big hello. Val's in the house. Good to see you, Val. We got Paula. We've got who else? We got Muggs in the house. Hey, Muggs, what's going on? Good to see you, man. Thank you so much for all the support, all the comments. This dude is making comments in so many videos. This dude is watching videos that are like 4 or 5 years old.
Nice.
It's crazy stuff that I thought that no one would ever watch again. And he's watching it and seems to enjoy it. So thanks, man. We appreciate that. Scott, what is up, Scott? And we got Erica as well. Thank you for being here, Erica. We appreciate you so very much, everything that you do. And Val, that's right, man. Rest in peace to Tim Curry. I just, when I saw that this morning, I was just like, are you serious? I just, it's like, come on, guys, just stop, please. Hey, Jen. She's seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show in theaters 130 times. Wow. Oh my gosh. That is crazy. And Erica, you got to see it. You got to see it. It's such a fun movie. It's campy. It's crazy. I love
great songs.
Right? And again, Tim Curry was so versatile, bro. He could do anything. He really could, man. It's just crazy. Oliver, what's up, man? Can't stay. Wanted to say thank you to everyone here for a great community. Oh no, I'm in the hospital. Bro, I hope that you're doing okay, man. Seriously. let us know if you can, and definitely if you just are able to only watch, we hope you enjoy the conversation tonight, man. But yeah, definitely reach out if you can. And Erica, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're all right. You're all right. Yeah, Kelly, it's crazy. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I was telling this to Kill backstage, especially within the last 2 days, of hearing about Dolly and Tim. It really kind of changed my whole outlook on tonight's stream, because I was just like, man, this is crazy. We watched the It miniseries. That was a big part of our childhood, and Pennywise and Clue and, oh man, Legend.
You know, now here's a deep cut for you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, there was a television show that had a story arc where Tim Curry was on it. Do you remember a show called Wise Guy?
Yes, of course.
You remember? Okay, well, hey, but I'm just saying that's a deep cut, dude.
It is a deep cut.
Our
nobody in the audience is gonna know what we're talking about, but it's okay.
Exactly. It was a popular show on CBS. It was out around the same time as like Beauty and the Beast. And I think it was out for maybe 2, 3, maybe 4 seasons.
Yeah.
But I just remember there was a story arc in there, like for a little bit of time, where Tim Curry played like a gangster.
Yeah. He could play anything.
He could play anything, and the charisma was still there. And I was just like, oh, that's the guy from Clue. Yeah, that's so cool. And he was scary. He was a scary, charismatic gangster.
Yeah.
I'm like, how does this guy? How is he just this good in whatever piece of work he gets?
It's true.
He's just a great talent that will truly be missed.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Real quick too, because we're gonna do something a little bit different tonight. At least we're gonna attempt to. But I also wanted to take a second to also give a thank you to our channel members. You guys, just so generous, and everyone that watches the channel, that comments on the video, that helps us out, our fantastic moderators, all of you guys really help to make this whole thing work. We can't do it without you. We've got a lot of new folks to the channel as well. Kill, let me also say congratulations on 38,000 subscribers. Who would have ever thought? We got out of the mud a little bit, but it took 50 days of content every day, but it's okay though. We got it. And if anyone wants to join the channel membership, you can hit the join button next to the subscribe button. It helps us out a lot. We've got a lot of cool stuff we've got planned. And in this little card, there's also something that is teased in there that, maybe some folks, they might know about, something that's happening during spooky season, which is hint, right around the corner. But yeah. And look at this, man. We got our brother from down under, Ginger Ninja, in the house. 42 months. Get out of here, man. Get out. He says,
time flies.
Ginger Ninja's been around since the beginning, pretty much. And bro, we got to get you back on here. Do you remember when we did our deep dive on Night of the Living Dead? The 1990 Night of the Living Dead. That was so much fun, man. We got to get you back on here, bro. But 42 months, just always been so cool, and such a cool friend as well. And we appreciate you, man. Seriously. All right. Kill, let's kind of pivot a little bit, because what we're going to do tonight, this is going to be something that we're going to hopefully do a bit more of, because we haven't done it in a little bit. I want to talk about the 80s. Okay. I want to talk about a film that definitely touched our hearts. I want to talk about a film called Poltergeist. 1982, bro. And this is a classic film that we talked about some ideas of some movies to talk about, and this one kind of popped in my mind. And as soon as I told you, you were like, yeah, let's do it. I just want to talk about some of the aspects of this film, because a lot of people that are younger, they might have heard about it, they might have even seen it once or twice, but we grew up in a household that really enjoyed this film and this franchise. Here's a question about it. We're not going to get into all the little nitty gritty, but how did Poltergeist turn an ordinary American family into one of the most frightening places in horror? This family that lived in the suburban home, and that's kind of what I want to put out to you, man, because I think that it's an interesting question, and the film is very interesting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, it's funny. I mean, if you think about some of the background of this film,
Yeah.
Poltergeist is the first PG-13 movie,
Right.
and
Right.
Steven Spielberg had something to do with that because he produced
Yeah.
it, and he
Yeah.
just said, "Look, I'm Stevie Spiel. All right, look, I want all the money, and I know
All of
there might be some stuff in this movie, but
Yeah.
I don't want an R rating for this because that will alienate the younger audiences, and I like money." So, so
I
the
like
powers that be, they came up with PG-13. So us in the horror world, us who were kids and we were
Yeah.
teenagers, we have this movie to thank for allowing us to go see PG-13 movies. So thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, absolutely. It was one of those films, man, that really hit hard, and it was very
Yeah.
popular back in the day. Back in the day, popular enough that our parents, watched it. So
Well, because it snuck under the radar.
it
Because
did.
they were like, "Oh, it's PG-13. It'll be okay." No, it's not. No, it's not. Because I mean, if you think about it, at that time, a lot of horror that we were watching were censored. They
Yeah.
were on on the weekends, or they were on regular TV because we didn't have cable at the time.
Right. Right. Right.
And they were sanitized and safe versions.
That's right.
When we rented this, we thought like, oh, Steven Spielberg produced this, going to be like E.T.
Yeah.
And and what's so deceptive about this movie is if you watched and tell me what you think. If you watched the first, I'm gonna say 45 minutes of it,
Mhm.
it feels like you're watching a Robert Zemeckis, Steven Spielberg,
Yes.
family caper, kids oriented, Goonies,
Yeah. Yeah.
type of movie.
Yeah.
But after a certain point,
That's when Toby Hooper said, "Wait a minute, guys. Don't
wait a
forget, I
I'm
directed the
Toby."
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Okay,
Yeah.
let's bring it back a little bit, right?"
Yeah, and that's what was so captivating about
Yeah.
growing up at this time,
Yes.
because the concept of what is horror, or what is family friendly or rated R, and what's PG-13, it was a very thin line. And
Mhm.
the only reason we really got to see this is because of that rating.
Yeah, that's true. Now, do you remember how old you were when we
Oh,
first saw it?
oh, geez, man, I was very young.
Yeah.
I definitely wasn't 13, so I wasn't
No, you were not.
PG-13. And look, this movie messed me up for a little bit because there's
Yeah.
stuff in this movie.
Hey, look.
Hey, look, there's no lying here. I
There's
love
never been
this
any
movie.
lying.
There's never been any
Yes.
lying. I love this movie. Hell,
Yeah.
we love this entire franchise.
Yeah.
But this movie, it was like it was lightning in a bottle. It was
Yeah.
just, the cast was impeccable.
It
The
was.
cinematography, the directing, the musical score in it, and
Yeah.
the fact that the majority of the movie was in a beautiful suburb, in a beautiful new development community,
Yeah.
and it was like sunny Southern California looking.
Beautiful.
It was beautiful. No
Yeah.
one would, nobody in their right mind would say, "I don't want to live there."
Hey, nobody thought to themselves, "What's underground?" Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So we were young. We were young.
Yeah.
Let's just look. And I already told Coriander. I told her. I said, "I wish you were going to be here tonight because you know what I'm about to get into next." Because I like to joke with you about it, man. That's the advantage of being the older brother.
know.
What scared you the most the first time we watched it? In your own words, what was the things that got you the most? I mean, was it the corpses? Was it the TV? Was it Carol Ann being taken away? Was it the clown? Was it the tree? What was it, man?
I mean, it was a few things. I would say the main thing probably would be the clown. and then the creepy tree, but
the worst tree ever.
The worst tree ever. But I think even more than those, because this happened a little earlier than those, was Craig T. Nelson and his face, picking apart his face. Like, this is a PG-13 movie, you know, and you know, we love Craig T. Nelson. He's a great actor. He's there. He's, you know, he's looking in the mirror and he just starts.
Well, that's the paranormal guy, though.
Yeah,
the one that was one of the paranormal investigators that came to the house.
You're right. You're right.
He ate the piece of steak that started to, like, I don't know what it started doing. As a kid, that scared the crap out of me.
Yeah. You see how all the fear blends together. Look, once again, this is PG-13, and I'm like, it's too many things to call out that fractured my young mind.
Oh my God. Yeah, the clown got you, bro. I'll never forget that. And I'll just leave it at that for the folks in the audience to just imagine us when we were kids watching it. My poor little brother, he just like, it got to me too. I'm not going to lie. It definitely was scary. Let's talk about the family in general. To me, and you mentioned Craig T. Nelson as Stephen, Jo Beth Williams as Diane, like the greatest mom in horror movies. You know, maybe only done better by Dee Wallace. Let's give Dee Wallace credit too. But you know, the family was just so relatable. You know, and us as kids, it was just so relatable to watch them in their day-to-day. Do you think that all of these aspects we've just kind of, you know, glazed over, the family, the scares, you know, the vibes and all that, do you think that this film has become more or less effective as you have gotten older?
Oh, I would say more.
Okay.
And I guess, you know, as you grow older, you're now paying bills, or you're a homeowner, and you know, like, oh, do I want to build in a new build? Do I want to buy a house in a new build community? I had to weigh it out. I had to weigh it out a little bit. Like, all right, I don't know. But you know, as you grow older, you do get to see the adult point of view of it, because, you know, we were kids, and, you know, I'm watching the little brother, and he has his fear of the clown and this and that, and Carol Ann's missing, or, you know, she's talking to the TV, they're here, you know, all that, you know, and the parents,
she was adorable.
Oh, she was totally adorable. And the parents, you know, at least from the outlook of everything, they had a great relationship. Now, granted, you're looking at it from kids' eyes. We don't know all of the minutia of their relationship, but it appeared, you know, a really good, healthy one. Yeah. But as you grow older, you know, you watch certain things, and now when I watch this movie, I'm looking at, like, his job, and how much his job, and how important his job and the trust of his employer was. He didn't think that his employer would do something like that. You know, the company he worked for. So he was just like, hey, you know, I work for Umbrella Corp. They're the best company in the world.
They're taking care of the environment.
They would never make a virus, a zombie outbreak, you know, because you're an employee. You trust your company. And then the mom, and what I think about this movie is cute is, it's a horror movie. It's also an adventure movie, and it's also a comedy movie. Because when she starts to figure out that there's some weirdness in the house, she starts doing
it's like a game
experiment. Yes, like honey, Craig T. Nelson. Look at this. Watch. I'm gonna sit the baby right here. Watch this. And the baby slides across the floor. It's like, isn't that great? And he's like, yeah, that's not really great, but okay, that's weird. So it's just interesting seeing how she's there pretty much every day while he's at work, because I believe, if memory serves, she was a stay-at-home mom.
Yes.
And she's seeing this a little differently than him, you know. And as you're growing, as you're, you know, an older person now, as an adult, I'm kind of seeing it from both their perspectives and so forth. Whereas when I was younger watching this, I really didn't kind of see that aspect of the film.
Right.
But it's just so many little things in this film with the way the actors portray these characters that's so endearing even to this day. So yeah,
I agree, man. I think that, you know, the thing about this film and these characters is they just make them so human. And you know, I've seen this movie more times than I can count since I was a little boy, you know, and of course I knew we were going to talk about it and to kind of celebrate it and so forth. And so I watched it again just the other day, and what struck me was the emotion, right? Like when they first have the investigators come to the house and they're trying to explain what's going on, and they have that moment of Beatrice Straight, who's playing Dr. Lesh, and you know, they see a couple of weird things. They hear Carol Ann through the TV, and the doctor at night, they're kind of sitting in the living room, and the doctor was speaking with Diane and just talking about, you know, life and death, because Robbie, the son, was asking about Carol Ann, you know, and she's dead. And it was just, it was sweet. Like this was the Steven Spielberg touch to it. You know, it felt like a family movie. And I just thought it was very sweet, these actors and actresses with the chemistry that they had. And even a young actress like Dominique Dunn, rest in peace to her as well, the one who played Dana. This movie is tragic. I mean, we're not going to really get into all of that.
Yeah.
But it's just, I just want to at least, you know, acknowledge that it's so tragic. You know, Dominique died young, Heather O'Rourke. It's just so sad. But even in some of those scenes, like Dominique as a young actress, you know, she was sad because her sister has been abducted, and you could just feel the heart, right? This is a horror movie, but you could feel the heart. And one thing that struck me, and then we'll kind of get back on track. You know how I can rabbit trail, but you know who, when I was watching this, you know who I think gained a lot from a movie like Poltergeist? James Wan. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I feel like even if it was subconscious, which I bet it wasn't, because James is a student of horror. When I watched The Conjuring,
yep,
and we did a battle world with The Conjuring and Poltergeist. That was a great episode. And there's a reason that we put those two against each other, because parallel stories. But when I watched The Conjuring films, that's what I'm getting. I'm getting the heart, the emotion, the family, the chemistry of these actors, Vera and Patrick. And then of course you got the horror. So when the horror starts happening, I care about what's happening. I'm even more invested because I love these characters so much. And Poltergeist did it so well all the way back in 1982. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I got out of that. Just that parallel. It just works for me, man. It really does.
The Conjuring is the best modern day Poltergeist movie.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, I'll die on that hill. There's no doubt about it. I think there was a lot of inspiration and parallels and bridges between them, man. I mean, I really do. Now, let me just touch upon this too. A lot of people talk about this, and obviously, you know, we'd be remiss not to talk about this, but there's always been this big debate behind the scenes about how much Steven Spielberg was involved with actual directing or co-directing of Poltergeist versus Tobe Hooper. Tobe Hooper is credited as the director. Steven Spielberg has even said this is Toby's movie. He directed it. How much creative control, if you were to guess, and we're just speculating and talking as lifelong fans, how much creative control or how much directing do you think Steven had with this film?
You know, I'm going to say it was maybe a 30-70 split.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is Steven probably said, "Hey, look, you're the horror guy, I'm the family guy."
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you let me kind of smooth over some of these family heartwarming beats, it'll give more weight to what comes later in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, that's
Yeah.
not to say that Toby couldn't direct family drama or issues. Of course he
Right.
could, but horror is his forte. And I just feel like I said earlier, when you watch this movie, the first half of it feels like a Steven
It
Spielberg
does.
movie. It
It
does.
so does, bro. It's not even
Like,
funny.
and I'm not sitting here saying that he just said, give me this, I got this, and then when we get to the scary stuff, I'll pass it back to you. But the influences are there, the heart,
Mhm.
like you said, the family dynamic, the likable characters.
Yes.
And I truly feel if we didn't care about those characters and that family dynamic as much as we end up doing,
Mhm.
all of the other stuff that happens to them, we wouldn't give a damn about.
Right. Right.
And it
Agreed.
goes the same way with The Conjuring. The
Yep.
Conjuring, The Conjuring's a little different because The Conjuring, you also have the story of the investigators, and they're a big focal part, more of
More
a bigger
so.
focal part than in Poltergeist. But we're
Right.
seeing their marriage dynamic, but then we're also watching the family and the history of the house they're in now. And we're following the family. The kids are cute, they're sweet. The
Yeah, they are.
dad, the mom, there's financial burdens that are sunken into that house.
Mhm.
Like, look, we've spent the money, we live here now,
Right.
guys.
Real
We
world
can't
issues.
exactly, and we can all relate to that. And
Yes.
because we can
Yes.
relate to that, we fixate on that, and we're just like, man, if I was in that situation, I probably would be doing the same thing. And as the movie goes on, the kids, we care about them, the mom, we care about her, and they're
Mhm.
the main ones that are catching it. So that
Yeah.
when the later true horror really comes in, we care.
Mhm.
And in Poltergeist, it's the same thing. We love this mom. We're like looking at this Hollywood mom, like, oh, she's such an awesome mom. These kids are
Right.
so cute. The dad, he's an everyman. He's a
Yes.
good guy. The
Yep.
neighborhood, everything. The house is beautiful. So we care because we can see ourselves in them.
Mhm.
And then when all of the stuff happens, and then of course when you find out why the stuff is happening,
Right.
we still relate with them, and we're just as angry as Craig T. Nelson is when
Yeah.
the shake. Like, I'm sure we'll get to it, so I'm not gonna keep talking about it. But I would have shaken, I would
You
have
moved the
punched,
headstones. You moved the headstones.
so
Bro.
so once again, we're invested and we're like, oh my goodness. And and also just the fact that that's an atrocity, that's
Yes.
just alone, that's an
Right.
atrocity.
Yeah.
you know so yeah, man, I know it's a long-winded answer, but yeah,
No, no, no.
Steven's fingerprints are on there, man, with the family dynamics, the comedy of the interaction with the family, and all
Yeah.
of that carries so much weight at the latter part of the movie, the
You know,
payoff.
I have to agree with you. I do think it's kind of like a 30-70 split because you just can't deny. And
Yeah.
even the music, Jerry Goldsmith did the score. And one thing that really caught my attention too is when the film begins, that score is just so charming. It it
Yes.
it, it it reminds me of the 80s. It reminds me of being a kid. It reminds me of just innocence and all that type of stuff. And it's peppered throughout the film. And obviously there's moments where it's intense and it's dark, the score, but it's totally something that Steven has in his films. Now, usually he's doing it with John Williams, which is obviously the GOAT, but I think
Mhm.
Jerry Goldsmith's score was fantastic. Let's we got to get there. Let's get to we got to get to also Zelda Rubinstein. Like,
Oh
look,
yes.
Tangina was fantastic. The coolest little lady of all times. Um, what an amazing character that in one breath could be so innocent and adorable and fantastic, but yet intense and kind of mysterious and also a little scary because of what she knows, what she's experienced, and what she can do. And again, these are just these little characters, these little things that are being thrown, and they all work perfectly, in my opinion. I think that she was a fantastic part of this film because when she comes in, and I'm gonna give you another parallel. It's a little bit of a looser parallel than the one I did earlier with James Wan. But when she comes in, it's kind of like, look, we got to call in the pros. You know, it's almost like we had to call in Father Marin in The Exorcist. It's time to get serious. You know what I mean? And
see, I thought you were going to say Lin Shaye from Insidious or something.
Well, no. But again, I do think James either subconsciously, but I believe it's conscious because he's a horror student. I truly believe he pulled from Poltergeist, you know, with the great Lin Shaye, the godmother of horror. But Tangina is fantastic. Insidious, yes.
Yeah.
But Tangina was a great character, and when she came on board, it's kind of like, oh crap, and her explanation, and you know, it's the beast. And I'm like, I remember as a kid, it like just made shivers go down my spine, bro. Like,
and she looks so
character.
sweet.
Right?
She looks so, that casting was perfect because you have someone that, you know, to look at them, it's like, oh, what do you know? You look like you look like a cute grandma. You look like someone's cute grandma, but there's knowledge behind those eyes. Yeah. She's seen some stuff. She's battled some things. And she's truly sweet, and her connection that she has with Jo Beth Williams, it's like beautiful. Hey, I'm in sync with you. I'm with you. I know your husband thinks I'm full of crap or whatever. Craig T.
Nelson, he was ready to call it.
Look, Craig T. Nelson, I'm sorry I'm gonna say this, but he's playing the audience at that time because we're all skeptics on varying degrees. Right. And he's just like, you know, the way he plays it, he's kind of an asshole. But I mean, he's been going through some stuff. It's believable. But at this time, he has been going through some stuff. Right. You know, and the family's been going through some stuff, and he's just kind of like, just a lot of his body language is just spot on. Like, yeah, I could see myself maybe making that look like
right.
And it just works out perfectly because he's not receptive to it, and she is very receptive as a mother that wants to figure this out. And Tangina is just, when she comes in, she's the character we needed at that time.
Right. She is. You're right. Because there was a pivot in the film at that point.
And this is when we're in Toby Hooper. It was just like, all right, I need Father Marin. I need somebody. I need Lin Shaye. I need the Warrens. I need the whole squad. The Warrens, Father Marin, Lin Shaye, the you know, the whole Avengers squad.
Right. Hey, Toby said to Steven, hey, why don't you take an extra lunch today? We got to finish this movie up, buddy.
Peter Venkman. I need the Ghostbusters. I need everybody here because
bro, that finale is fantastic, and somehow a movie that has so much innocence, even to this day, is still very intense in that finale, bro. When the corpses start showing up and Diane is in the swimming pool, and by the way, it's real human skeletons that Jo Beth Williams she didn't know that, bro. Are you serious? Crazy stuff.
Man, hey, that just shows it was
1982,
you,
bro.
Yeah, I was about to say, man, that just shows you, man. Hey, it was like guerrilla filmmaking back then, man. Forget the whole, you know, making Mad Max and how they were just doing it on actual roads in Australia.
Right? Oh my gosh.
This is a major Hollywood production. And look, you want it to be real? we gonna get a bunch of skeletons. Where y'all get
That's
these
right.
skeletons from?
That's right.
You couldn't have went down to the haunted Halloween shop and
Right.
got some
Spirit Halloween, whatever it was back
store
then.
been around.
Right. Let me ask you this, and for you guys in the chat, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We're going to get to you guys in a second, and we see you guys talking. We appreciate it, and get your questions ready. We're going to be doing a big Q&A after this and so forth. If you were to pick an underrated moment or a moment that kind of sticks out in your mind, do you have a favorite moment or scene or interaction in the film that really just kind of sticks out for you for Poltergeist?
For me, it's kind of when they get Carrie Ann back, and she's covered in like all the mucus and whatnot, and you just see like them wiping, and once again, with guerrilla filmmaking, I don't know what all that mess was they put on that little that baby girl.
Who knows what it was?
But she came out looking like Seth Brundle. If you know, you know.
You gotta stop.
If you know, you know. She's the mother. Jo Beth Williams is wiping her down, and she's just looking at her like, my baby, and it's
right.
Even as a kid, I'm not a parent. I'm a little kid, but I'm like, oh yes, yeah, like because this family's been through hell, fighting killer trees and clowns and bodies in the pool, and all this stuff. Your sister has been abducted into the TV, Craig T. Nelson almost going crazy and whatnot. It's been a lot of shit going on. And just that sigh of relief that, oh my goodness, I have my daughter back.
Right.
Everything is fine, and whatever happens next, we'll deal with it. I have my baby back.
Right.
So
That's a great moment, man. And it's funny you said that, because my moment is kind of right before that, when Diane is going to go to the other side and she's tied with the rope, and Tangina is all about the light. She's like, look at the light, all the children, all the world. And I'm like, bro, Craig T. Nelson was about business. He's like, Diane, but the moment I loved was like, when in the practical effects were so great. This is 1982. This is movie magic. This is true movie magic, in my opinion. I'm not trying to sound like an old fart or whatever, but there was just some really special moments in movies and movie magic, from like whatever, the 70s, mid 70s, all the way up to like the mid 90s. You know what I mean? Like, this is not computer generated shit. And you see all this light, and the rope is, it looks like it's going into something. And Jo Beth Williams, Steven, don't let go. And he's like, never. And I was just like, right? That's what I'm talking about as a kid. And hell, man, I don't know. Maybe I was 10. I don't know. We were both really young. Who knows? But even as a kid, that moment made sense. You know what I'm saying? Because, I'm thinking to myself, wow, those are great parents. I'm thinking about our mom and dad. It's like, and this is the beauty of this film, that it's operating on all these levels as a horror movie, right? and so that's the moment that really and it's just one of many, but that's the moment that kind of stood out in my mind. Just the love that they had for each other, the commitment, the investment to keep that family together, no matter the cost, and I think that was beautiful. And those actors, again, Jo Beth Williams and Craig T. Nelson, the whole cast was fantastic, but those two in particular in that moment, top notch. Like, here's unbelievable.
Here's a quick question. Have you ever heard the term poltergeist before this movie?
No, that's a great point, bro. Because go ahead.
Because I was just sitting here thinking, and I was like, man, I didn't even know that term until that movie. But that sounds a hell of a lot scarier than Ghost. Right. Scooby-Doo and the Mystery Gang, they catch ghosts. Scooby-Doo and the Mystery Gang, they catch poltergeist. It's like,
dude, when we were kids, man. And I remember when we had rented it, and mom was like, yeah, we're gonna watch this, whatever. I can't remember all the details, but when I heard the name of it, I was already on edge. I was like,
yeah,
what is Poltergeist?
it
Yeah.
sounds scary.
Yeah. I mean, and it just shows this again, and I'm not just trying to sound like whatever, but it's true. A lot of the filmmakers back then, they really found ways to connect to you, even on a
Yeah.
fear level like this. This is a great title for a film. And even when I say it today, it's kind of like, ooh, Poltergeist,
Well, and even if you think of the poster where
Yes.
Carrie Ann is sitting in front of the TV's got the white screen, and then you just have that lettering, Poltergeist. And if I
Yeah.
remember, it was like fat white letters, just
Yep.
Poltergeist. It's like,
Yep.
what is that? I'm a
Right.
kid. I don't know what that is, but this poster looks scary.
Right.
Like,
Right.
what?
It was a
Like,
great poster. It was a great
yeah.
poster too, man. That's a good call on that. And speaking of posters, that was a great segue. I don't even know if you thought we were going to do this, but just to kind of go back a little bit to our Battle World roots a little bit and Great Debate roots. Let's give a score for Poltergeist. One thing that I wanted to let the audience know, so this is going to be, we're going to take this section of the live stream. We're going to, have it up as a uploaded video, hopefully soon. And we're going to hopefully get a chance to do this with some other films, just kind of tackling it and just kind of celebrating it and so forth. But we've got categories. You know how we do this, dude. We've got a score of 1 to 5, 5 being the best and 1 being absolute horribly. So let's first talk about the characters, okay? For characters, what would you give Poltergeist on a score of 1 to 5?
I look, there's no lying here. 5.
I
I would
agree.
say 5. And you know me, and guys, seriously, this isn't us just glazing on this movie. There's room for improvement everywhere. But once again, to make us care like we do, to make me so excited and happy when the mom gets pulled out holding the daughter,
Carol
and
Ann.
And it's like, oh, or Tangina coming to the rescue. It's like, oh, or even the little brother defeating the clown trying to kill him. It's like, man, whether it's Toby Hooper or Steven Spielberg, they made us care about these characters. The actors all did exceptional jobs. And you really feel the family dynamic. You feel the chemistry. So yeah, I gotta say 5, man.
All right. Next up, let's talk about story. I'll go first. I love this story, man. I don't see any cracks in the story whatsoever. It has a great beginning, middle, and an end. I love the finale. And granted, and maybe we'll get to our boy Reverend Kane at some point. I'm glad we got a sequel, but we didn't need it. And that's why this story is great. So for me, I'm going to give story a 5 as well. What would you give story?
Yeah, I got to give it 5. Because some people might say it's a basic story.
Yeah.
But, like the whole dynamic, oh, it's a family, there's a ghost, a kid gets missing, they ask for outside help to get the kid back. But then there's the reasonings behind why this is happening.
Yes.
Take it into overdrive,
right?
And take it into crime, like atrocity level.
Yeah. Check out what your house is built upon, folks. That's the lesson to be learned.
Exactly. So yeah, man. Yeah, I'm gonna say 5. The storyline is just impeccable.
All right, next up, atmosphere. What would you give atmosphere on a level of 1 to 5, 5 being the best? And we can do 0.5s. You could do a 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, and 4.5 if need be.
The atmosphere, okay. This one I'm gonna say 4. And part of my reasoning is this. And there was a pattern of Southern California style movies in the 80s, whether it's Karate Kid, this, and it's cool. I'm an East Coast guy, so it's like, man, they're riding their bikes to the beach, or they're the All Valley tournament. The weather is great. Their high school portions of it is outside. They're eating lunch outside.
Yeah,
my East Coast people y'all know we don't do that.
What's
During the school
outside?
year. Yeah, me going inside where it's heat. But I guess I'm gonna give it a 4, only because it was kind of par for the course of a lot of other Robert Zemeckis or Steven Spielberg movies of that ilk. You did have outliers like Lost Boys, but the weather was still nice. That was a beach town, so it's like it wasn't like Southern California. I don't know, but it still was a beach town, so it's like kind of the same aesthetic. But what I would say is, for it to be a horror movie, it lulls you in to the atmosphere, sort of like watching something like Midsommar.
Yeah.
When you watch Midsommar, how scary can it be? It's always in daylight.
What are those guys about to do at the top of that cliff?
Exactly. Or another movie that I'm not saying they took inspiration from it. You may know where I'm going with this. Paranormal Activity. Paranormal Activity took place in a lovely home in Southern California.
What's up with Cali, bro?
Hey, man. And, in the daytime, it was pretty chill, but then it gets every night on Paranormal Activity.
Every night.
Like, oh, geez. So I'm gonna give it a 4, just because it's kind of par for the course, but still it's great atmosphere.
It is great atmosphere. And because of that, I'm gonna go 4.5.
Okay.
I'm gonna go 4.5 because I just feel like, it's just fantastic, man. The atmosphere just felt great. I loved it. I felt like I was a kid in that friggin' movie. And that's because of how wonderful the late great Tobe Hooper did, and of course Steven Spielberg, obviously, to what degree, I don't care. They're both great filmmakers and two of my favorites. So I'll go 4.5. Let's talk about the supernatural villain aspect of the film, the ghost or whatever. What would you give that on a score of 1 to 5?
I would have to say 5.
Ooh,
I would have to say 5. And my reasoning for that is there's so many things that the ghost or the poltergeist embody, whether it's a tree, a clown, making someone pick at their own face. It's so much stuff. The TV with the hand coming out, and it's like, trying to grab at her. It's like, whoa. And to see this stuff in 82 as a, if you were like 10, I was like 7 or 6 or whatever. It's like, whoa, it's too much. And then the skeletons.
Bro,
look, I should not have been watching this movie at that age. I really shouldn't. So that's why I'm saying a 5, because it was some scary shit. A lot of scary.
It was. I'll give it a 5 as well for the supernatural aspect, because I think they were able to do it in a way that was it was believable. Yes. And it was also like heartfelt, like even the scary things. It was heartfelt because, bro, they built this whole complex, this housing complex, on a burial site. Come on, bro. You moved the headstone. I know I can't do Craig T. Nelson, but anyways, I go with a 5 as well. Last thing we're gonna score it on is the entertainment factor, the fun factor. Where are you going with that on a score of 1 to 5?
I'm gonna do a 4.5. And my reasoning is, yes, it's entertaining. There are funny parts, but the entertainment is, for me, seeing the interactions with the family and the people that are helping this family, and the bond that they have, whether it's the family's bond with Tangina or the family bonding, with itself. But it's quality, could it be better? I don't really think so. I don't know what else they could have done,
But you give it a 4.5.
I'm giving it a 4.5 only because I guess for me that's a hard one to kind of rate.
Yeah. No, I get
you know
it.
what I mean? Yeah, I mean, but not that anything is wrong with it. I mean, it's damn near perfect, 4.5. So.
Right. Well, me, I'm going with a 5 because I just think, when I rewatched it, I was smiling so much. I was just smiling, and I was just like, you know what? It's so cool that we got to experience it as kids. because I think that there was a lot of charm in that film, and there was a lot of charm in movies at that time. And not that we don't have it anymore. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying look, it's Steven Spielberg and Toby Hooper, bro. I mean, these are icons of filmmaking. So I'm going to go with a 5. And what we're going to do is when I upload the video, I'm going to have the final score. And we're going to have, hopefully, as long as people enjoy this, we're going to have multiple films that we're going to do this for. So great conversation on Poltergeist, man. Any final thoughts before we move on to our next phase of the stream?
Yes, if you have not seen Poltergeist,
yes,
if you're very young and this movie just kind of it didn't hit like the phenomenon that it was for us growing up in the 80s. I get it. But do yourself a favor, check this movie out. Try not to, like I would say, don't even look up a trailer. Just go rent it or stream it. I'm sure it's streaming everywhere. You could rent it for like $3 if need be, and just take it in. It's a period piece now, so it's like life in the 80s. But I put this on the same category as a Lost Boys or a Karate Kid. This is a landmark 80s film that really encapsulates life in the 80s, growing up in a simpler time. But it's just a great movie with great acting, and it still holds up. It's so many newer movies that don't freaking hold up, and I could watch them last week and forget about them this week.
Right.
I'm serious. There's one in particular that's on my brain, like, I did watch that. I don't even really remember anything about that horror movie. But this one, I think it will stick with you. And it's really good.
It's a great one, man. And I agree. If you haven't seen Poltergeist in a long time, or if you've never seen it, it's truly a classic horror film. It's just a great, and I know some people use the terminology like gateway horror, for people that maybe aren't big into horror, or for little kids or this or that. I mean, you can say whatever you want, but this film finds a way to have its intensity and moments and also have the heart, and it combines it perfectly. And I think it's truly one of the greats of all time. So it's a fantastic film, and I'm just so glad we got a chance to talk about it, man. So
yeah.
All right. So for you guys in the chat, thank you so much for hanging out. Let's just jump back to the chat, and also we're gonna just do some rambling, some chatting, some Q&A. We got Paula also with a channel member anniversary. Paula, thank you so much. We got 17 months. We appreciate you so much. Love you guys. What are your thoughts on maybe doing a tier list for movies based on true stories? That's an interesting one to think about. Ooh, okay. I kind of dig that. What do you think, Kill? That could be kind of interesting. There's a lot of good ones that are based on true stories.
Definitely.
Yeah, that could be fun. Paula, you never know. You never know. That's a good idea, though. Seriously. We got Ryan who jumped in the chat. Thank you so much. Shantae jumped into the chat. What's going on? Hope that you're doing well. We're just catching up with everyone. Chuck's in the house. What's up, Chuck? Good to see you. And we've got, let's see, who else? I was way behind. We got Jen coming in with a super chat. Jen, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate it. I was in a therapy group on Monday night, and each of us had to say one thing we used as a coping mechanism. For me, it was horror movies. They distracted me and kept me grounded. That's a great point. I think that movies in general, but obviously horror is my favorite genre, but I think movies in general, it is good escapism. I mean, it gives you that outlet. It gives you that connection that you can have. And it's also a creative thing. I mean, I think that movies really do help with creativity and so forth. I know for me growing up, there's a lot of fun I had in life that was connected to movies that I loved, just like music. So great point. Jen, thank you so much for that. We appreciate the support. That was awesome. We got James in the house too. What's up, man? Good to see you. Thank you so much for the super chat. I love Tim Curry and his movies. That is so unmatched, especially Legend, Clue, Rocky Horror. Absolutely. Yeah. Tim Curry was amazing, man. Just one of my favorite actors of all time. So versatile. Yeah. Stephen King's It is the ultimate. I know. he's the best, not Skarsgård. Yeah, I still think Tim Curry is the best Pennywise as well. I mean, I just think that he was able to do so much. And Kill, I was even gonna say, man, at some point we gotta rewatch It. Maybe do a watch together or something, because I was just like, man, when I was putting together the intro and I took those clips out of Tim Curry as Pennywise, I was just like, God, he was so good. And I remember seeing that as a little kid and just like, oh my God. Just crazy stuff, man. Let's see. James also coming back in again. Thank you so much, man. Saying in Los Angeles, the Poltergeist house was turned into an Airbnb and it's fantastic. Really? Ooh. I didn't know that. Everything's pretty much the same except the staircase, which is manufactured on site. It was creepy and awesome. Man, I would love to check that out. Ooh. Bro, can you imagine? That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, man. And James coming back in again. Sir James coming back in again. A $20 super chat, man. Jeez. Thank you, man. We appreciate the support. It definitely helps us. Here we go. I was wondering what some of these scores would be. I'd give it a 10 for Poltergeist, hands down. Those are the days that people had amazing attention span, didn't care how long the movies were. Lost Boys is beautiful because that's in Los Angeles. That's in California, Santa Cruz. Yeah, Lost Boys is another great one as well. Yep. Kill, you were naming some good ones, and I'm gonna bring that up in a quick second. But before I do, James, thank you so much for that super chat. We appreciate the support, and Jen as well. So let's just do a super chat clip. Now that we've had our chance to gab a lot, and you guys have been just hanging out and helping us out in the chat and stuff. Kill, sometimes when you have no idea what to do, sometimes you just got to move, and it might look like this.
Running in place! Now walking and running and jumping in place! Now walking and jumping and running in place! Now walking and jumping and running in place!
The great George Hamilton. The great George Hamilton, man. I love that movie. It was so funny. Comedies, bro. Comedies. I love them. We got Mr. Flo in the house too. What's going on? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Val had said the first part of the movie made me question if the movie was mislabeled as a horror movie, right?
Exactly. They got you.
Right? It's so true. It's so true. It's such a great movie though. It really, really is. Kill, and Daniel's in the house too. What's up? Hello guys from Daniel in the UK and Europe. Good to have you here, man. Hope you've been doing well. Kill, you mentioned some really cool movies, and I was thinking to myself, maybe we can get an idea what we're going to talk about next. And you mentioned a whole bunch of good ones, man. You talked about Lost Boys, you talked about Karate Kid, Mad Max. We talked about The Conjuring, a lot of good Paranormal Activity. Some of these are movies that we've never talked about on the channel. And I'm just like going like this. Now, let me just say this, guys, in the chat. Let's have you guys throw out some ideas, if you do have any, of a film you'd like to have us chat about next week. We're going to take some of the ideas and see what we can do, because obviously we got to make sure it's movies that we have available. If you send in a super chat, we'll definitely put it on the list. Okay, so we'll do that as well. And let me catch up to these guys while they do that. Kelly's given a 5. The characters were all relatable. I was invested in what was going to happen to all of them. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Scott going with a 5 as well for characters. Val going with a 5. Okay. Paula's going with a 5. Scott's going with a 5 for story. Yeah, I agree. It was just such a great story, man. Kelly saying the story flowed great from point to point to the finale. Yeah. Yep. Val said basic stories are the best. Doesn't complicate it with a lot of BS.
Yes. There you go.
I love that. Oh, man. Scott going with a 4.5 for atmosphere. Erica said, oh, Lord. Or she said, "Oh Lord, I hate Midsommar." Uh-oh. I have to say that anytime it's mentioned, it was a tough movie, bro. I didn't expect what was gonna right from the beginning. It was crazy.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Florence Pugh.
Pretty much.
I mean, right from the beginning, it was like, oh my gosh, this movie is horrendous. Not that it's a horrible movie, but the tragedy of what happened in the beginning, just crazy. Kelly is going with a 5 for the villain. The unseen is the scariest. I feel the same about Final Destination. Yeah. Scott going 5 for Supernatural. Again, the dude ripping his face off in the mirror. That was a crazy scene. I mean, seriously, as a kid, that messed with me a lot.
Yeah.
It really did. Oh my God. All right, let me see if I can catch up to some more of these. So, Kill, real quick, before if we have any suggestions in the chat, we'll definitely throw this out there. But if you had a film that you would throw out there for our next conversation, do you have any that jump to the top of your list?
I think one of the ones I'm gonna say. But we've talked about it. And the poster is directly behind you. The psychological interwoven insanity of The Thing.
Yeah.
Trust no one. I don't know. Because we've talked about the movie, but we haven't really talked about the stuff on the edges. Kind of like we did tonight, which was, I hope you guys enjoyed it, because I had a blast with us talking about the movie and how it made us feel when we first watched it and things of that nature. And it's a little different than how we normally talk about movies. So something like The Thing, I think, could be very interesting. But I know we've talked about The Thing.
Well, and the other thing too,
so much.
Pun intended, I've done some videos, and by the way, a shout out to everyone that's been checking out the videos on The Thing. I did the one rule that The Thing never breaks, and some other, and just people have been going crazy. It's just been so cool to see the love for this film that bombed at the box office in 1982. You win at the end. At the end, you win, and basically that's what The Thing did.
82 was a good year for movies.
It was, bro. Blade Runner, Rocky 3,
Poltergeist,
E.T., Poltergeist. Get out, man. Maybe that should be something. Okay, I'm throwing too much stuff out there. All right, so you're throwing out The Thing. Let's see what some of these guys are saying. Scott is saying Strangeland. Oh, I haven't seen that in a long time. Coriander wanted to talk about that for a while. That's an idea. Josh was in the house. What's up? Children of the Corn.
Outlander.
Outlander, we have your woman. I love it. Scott with Malachi. Amityville 2. Oh, okay, all right. Now Shantae was clever with this one. Okay, first of all, she has a channel member anniversary, and we thank you so much for that. 7 months. We appreciate that so much. And Shantae's watched a lot of stuff that we talked about she had never seen, like whole franchises and stuff like Saw and so forth. Fantastic. It's great to see that. So in her channel member anniversary here, she says, Lost Boys, me please. I can't lie. Lost Boys was kind of on my mind.
Hey, I love me some Lost Boys. I still believe. Hey, don't threaten me with a good time, man.
Right?
It's so much stuff in Lost Boys to dissect,
All right, it's there. Okay, so Shantae, thank you so much. Lost Boys is Danielle's in the house. What's up, Danielle? Saying Send Help. That was such a good movie.
That was a good movie.
Wasn't that good?
That was a real. Guys, if you have not seen Send Help,
the hype is real.
I believe it's streaming on Hulu, if memory serves.
Think so. Yeah.
Do yourself a favor.
Right.
And don't automatically write it off like, oh, this isn't horror or this isn't my type of movie.
It's Sam Raimi, bro.
Yes.
Sam is no joke.
Look, and I know we're kind of going off a tangent here, But there's 2 movies recently, as of the last few months, that surprised me that I really loved. One was Send Help. The other one is They Will Kill You.
Right.
They Will Kill You is
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Sam Raimi ass movie.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. If you are a fan of Evil Dead, to me, it's Evil Dead meets Ready or Not.
Yeah, with a little bit of Kill Bill in there.
Yes, you put that together, and unfortunately, not enough people are talking about They Will Kill You.
I know.
It's practical effects for the most part.
Yep.
And the effects are great. Zazie Beetz, she does her
Dude,
thing.
Man.
And
look,
look, best sister in the world.
Right?
Ever in recorded history. And if you have seen this movie, you know what I'm saying. Look,
she gave Samara Weaving a run for her money from Ready or Not too.
Yeah, and man, we haven't really talked about Ready or Not too. I liked it, but
I did too. I mean, it was a lot. They borrowed a lot from the first film. Although I will say, I really enjoyed the cast. Again, it was a great cast. Both films a great cast. We got to throw that. We got to throw that on the list too, man. Ginger Ninja saying War of the World. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good one too, man. We've never talked about that.
Which one? Tom Cruise or the classic?
I'm assuming Tom Cruise. Let us know, bro.
Hey,
Gory's in the house. What's up? Kelly saying The Fog. Ooh, bro. Do you know? Listen, and let me just say this, guys. I mean, again, this is live. This is the point where we're just chatting as we're starting to wind down. So this is the time you guys can talk. Let's talk, guys. This is what we're here for. Because otherwise, why we're doing this? But we had our channel anniversary in May. And there's a lot of things that have been going on lately, but we didn't get a real chance to celebrate it. But we've been doing this for a while.
Yeah,
we've talked about a lot of movies. I don't even know how much content we've done, especially if we count both channels. Probably at least over 1,500, maybe 2,000. Anyways, do you know that we've never had a dedicated discussion on The Fog? Isn't that crazy?
I think the closest we had was a Carpenter conversation.
Yes. And we did a Battle World.
But The Fog?
Didn't we? I thought we did. But regardless, the point is it wasn't like a dedicated conversation.
Yeah, I just remember we did a list of kind of like our top 10 favorite Carpenter movies or something like that. But yeah, we have not. Look, hey, I love The Fog.
Right?
It's so many great actors and actresses in The Fog.
Right? It's true, man. Yeah. That's a thought. I love that thought. Hey, look at Val. You know what? We got to do this at some point because Val's been messing with me for a long time. She says, throwing it out there, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And Val knows. And do you know I've not seen Killer Clowns since I don't even know when. It's like, and it's a classic. So many people love it. And I'm just like, bro, I can't really like remember it that well because I was so damn young. I think we saw it when we were at our cousins. Anyways, we might have to do that for Val because Val's been wanting that forever. Listen, and let me say something else, guys. If you get a chance, throw these in the comments too. I'm going to try to keep track of all of these, but that's a good idea. And look at Ginger Ninja coming back in. One of my faves, the Omega Man, bro. Charlton Heston, the Hess. I love that movie.
You know what's so funny? And Ginger, I love that you brought this movie up.
Yes.
And I don't know how to say this, but I'm just gonna say it. This movie's like that.
Right.
and it's hard to classify what I mean, where it's just like the kind of the single protagonist.
Yeah,
who knows some shit is going on.
Right.
No one believes him or her.
Right.
And they also got to be the one to fix it. And
more than likely,
only they fix it. And at the end, they may survive. They may not. The apes may take over. Or the vampires might finally win because you get betrayed by your love interest. Or Oh man, I recently was watching
Soylent Green.
No, not Soylent Green. It was Outland.
Bro, Sean Connery.
Yes. I was
nobody talks about that movie.
Once again,
wow.
Outland is kind of like a science fiction western.
It's a modern day High Noon.
Yeah. You know, and you got the one guy who is like just I am the law. You know, he's trying to hold it down, and people don't believe him, or they don't care, or they're gonna betray him. Yep. And I just kind of miss those movies, man.
I do too, bro.
With the guy, or the woman.
Yeah, no, it could be. You know what? It's so funny, and again, we're rabbit trailing, guys. But again, hopefully you enjoy it, because look, we don't get a chance to do this too much, like we want. Outland, Omega Man, movies like that. Do you know that those are for real? Even recently, those are the types of movies that sometimes I will put on at night as I'm just winding down, because I just love the atmosphere. I just love the vibe. Nobody knows these movies. People in the chat right now are probably like, "What are you guys talking about?
What is Outland?"
All I know Sean Connery is from James Bond and The Untouchables and Indiana Jones. But it's okay, guys, because
this is younger. I'm not gonna say young Sean Connery. This is post Bond Sean Connery, but he's still a younger Indiana Jones. This is 70s, you know, so he's still he's still pimping, and he just walks around with a shotgun. He's just like, look, I run this colony, you know. I'm the sheriff.
Let me ask you something too. This is another thing I love. Did I tell you about Outland? I'm pretty sure that's how it happened. Didn't I tell you one day about it? I said, you got to watch this movie.
I think you did, but I remember seeing it as a kid, like
as a kid,
it or something.
Yeah, you know? I mean, he loved Sean Connery, but I don't remember it. But I had rediscovered it at some point, and I can't remember how. And I just remember, I don't remember the exact conversation, but you and I do this all the time with each other. We just did it backstage before we went live. You telling me about a particular movie. We always tell each other about movies we're gonna watch, and I just remember talking to you and just saying, bro, at all costs, you got to watch this movie called Outland. Don't worry, it's Sean Connery. You're gonna love it, and it's an amazing film.
But you know what's funny, and once again, I'm sorry, guys, I'm about to go down a rabbit hole. These movies that were either in the 70s or 80s, where they were about the future. There's another one with Tom Selleck, and Gene Simmons is the bad guy. I'm talking about a movie called Runaway.
Oh, yeah.
This movie had robotic spiders that would inject or shoot you with acid, and Gene Simmons was the bad guy in this movie. It had that actress with the beautiful eyes. She was in V.
The one that was in They Live?
Yes. She's in it, and the kicker is, if you're old like us, you'll know exactly who we're like, oh, I know exactly that actress with those crazy crystal blue eyes.
They were
in
green,
the 80s,
weren't they?
or crystal, something like that. They
didn't look real.
They did, exactly. She looked like CG, but
Meg Foster.
Meg Foster. Thank you. All I know is that movie is another one of those the guy movie where it's like he knows something's going on, and Gene Simmons is the bad guy. And one of the funniest lines, one of my best friends, he knows this movie, Kobe, and we would say it all the time, like, "What's wrong, Ramsey?" You know, like, because Tom Selleck's name was Ramsey, and Gene Simmons is being Gene Simmons in this movie. Guys, if you want to see something that's kind of borderline cheesy, something that predates RoboCop, this, and Tom Selleck,
RoboCop too. I got to put that on the list.
Yeah, Tom Selleck was very big in the 80s. He did this science fiction movie where it's like, for the time, this was like watching Tron back in the day. This was very cutting edge. But I just remember that movie. It reminded me so much of something like Outland.
I haven't seen that in years. I gotta watch that.
It's a forgotten gem, you know, kind of like, I don't even know if this movie came to theaters. It might have been straight to video.
Yeah,
it may have been straight to video, but some of those straight to video, that's what we should need to talk about. some of those straight-to-video movies that came out in the 80s and 90s that
they were all right
in the theaters, they were all right.
Yeah, they were. Right? They were. Hey, do it again. What do you say? What's wrong, Ramsey?
What's wrong, Ramsey? Just like, if you can get that soundbite, just like Gene Simmons Runaway talking shit to Tom Selleck.
I gotta get that. What's wrong, Ramsey? All right, look.
It was a crazy movie, but it was good.
Lord.
It was really good.
All right, so we got that on the list too. Guys, continue to give your ideas for the list as we start to wind this thing down. We got a couple more minutes. Jen's coming in with a super chat. Can I just say, guys, thank you so much for the super chats. We appreciate the support. It helps us out so much. Saying, I was thinking about your video on Freddy's rules on my poster for New Nightmare. It says, this time staying awake won't save you. Bro, New Nightmare is all right, and I know you love New Nightmare.
I love me some New Nightmare, man. I remember when we did our rating. I think was New Nightmare on my rating. It might have been 2 or 3.
I think it was 3.
I think 2 or 3. I think it probably, honestly, it probably was 3 because it probably was Dream Warriors number 1, and then New Nightmare. Yeah. I'm pretty sure, and that is the correct answer. I'm sorry. That's the correct.
I can't lie. It's good. All right, Jen, thank you so much for that. And yeah, you're right. This time staying awake won't save you. Let's do another super chat clip real quick as we start to wind this thing down and get ready to head on out. Real quick, Kill, sometimes, you just got to get back to the basics. And there's only one guy that can help us, and this is who he is.
If that girl dies tonight, hey, number 1.
The There he is. There he is. I made sure I got you, boy.
That part just always catches me off guard. Like, what is this man have rabies? What's going on?
I know. Man. Derek said didn't get the notification until this was live until now. Oh my gosh, Derek. Well, we're so sorry about that. Check out the replay. This has been a fun episode. You guys in the chat, let us know if you enjoyed this. I'm going to be putting together our poltergeist conversation. I'm going to put that together as an upload. Hopefully get it out in the next day or two. It takes a while to do all this stuff, guys. So we hope that when we do put it out, check it out, because that was a lot of fun doing that. And I want to do some more stuff like that, which is why we're asking you guys your ideas for a film you want to see us talk about specifically. Danielle said, Night, you ready for Dead World Universe online alpha test phase? I put your NPC in the staging area. First of all, let me just say, Danielle, it looks amazing. And I still got to get the narration to you. But we got to talk so that I can put this out there. Danielle actually is putting together a game, and I've seen clips of it, and I'm in the game, bro. It's like I made it to the big time, but she's going to be doing a test phase. And Danielle, I don't want to speak out of turn or any wrong information, but we got to get together so we can put some of that information out there, because she's going to allow some folks in the community to test out the game, see what it's like, see what works, what maybe needs tweaking and all that. And it's exciting, man, because she's been working on this forever, and it looks awesome, man. It really does. So much love. All right. Scott always has some good suggestions. Phenomena, very underrated Dario Argento film. It's so true. And it's funny because, especially on Slasher Movie Club, Coriander and I, we did a couple of Dario films, and we never got to Phenomena. That was kind of on our list. So I'm gonna put that up here too, as an idea. Yeah. Josh was saying Body Bags would be a good one to talk about, and Village of the Dead. I haven't seen that in a long time. Yes. Duratan's in house. What's up, man? All right, good to see you. I love The Rock. Feels like a secret James Bond movie. You remember the note that he leaves Nick Cage at the end? Yeah, The Rock was great, bro. Sean Connery, Nicolas Cage, the late great Tony Todd was in it. Ed Harris, Ed Harris. Ed Harris is one of my favorites, bro. Like anything with Ed Harris, I'm gonna watch. Speaking of Ed Harris, another one to throw in there is The Abyss.
The Abyss.
Right? We've never talked about The Abyss. Let me just say something here too. And again, this is, you guys get to see it live. You know, we're at the point now, Kill, where you know we can talk about movies like that, you know, a little bit more easily, you know, because the algorithm is nicer to us, so it actually will have some reach. So yeah, we might go that way. Let's see what happens.
You know what's interesting? Like there was a time in Hollywood where they were all just like now, they're about trends, like, oh, the earth is gonna blow up, Armageddon, right. deep impact, the core, all that stuff. But before that, there was a time when, let's make that underwater money, baby. Let's get that Abyss. Leviathan. Let's get that Leviathan. Let's get that Deep Star 6.
Deep Star 6. But
Peter Weller.
Yeah,
oh, no,
but don't forget
no, he was in Leviathan. Peter Weller was in Leviathan. Yes.
Yeah. And don't forget about your boy Ernie O.
Ernie
O. Like,
and we were talking about movies that we don't believe were in theaters. Deep Star 6 and Leviathan, those were straight. And Meg Foster is in Leviathan. She was the person in the chair. Yeah, we can't get to you guys right now. We'll just wait out you guys. The storm. Like, whoa,
wow,
guys. There was a time when Hollywood just was like, "Hey, make a movie about stuff underwater," and we haven't had that in a while, except for Underwater.
Bro, you know it's so funny. My buddy
Kristen
Jake,
Stewart.
Yeah, we were talking about that last week on his channel. Underwater is so underrated,
good, yes,
and so good, bro. Whoa.
I watch Underwater once a year because it's just such a good movie with a great cast.
It is.
And you know, if you don't like Kristen Stewart, that's the lady from Twilight.
Those days are long gone.
Yeah, because Robert Pattinson is the Batman now, and he's fighting Odysseus. So give Kristen her flowers. She's doing other things.
Robert was so good in the audience. He was such an asshole.
Robert Pattinson is the new
Joaquin Phoenix.
No, well, I wasn't gonna say him. I was gonna say our boy from 24.
Who, Kiefer?
Kiefer. He's the new Kiefer Sutherland. And what I mean by that is, in one movie he could play the hero and you're rooting for him, but in another movie he is the worst piece of shit villain. and he's so good at it. So my hat is off to you guys. So look, go watch Underwater. It's a great movie with Kristen Stewart and a great cast of character actors that you'll recognize.
It is, man. It is. I agree with that. So, guys, we're gonna get ready to wind this down. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. We hope that you guys enjoyed our conversation all the way through. And again, a big rest in peace. Again, these last 2 weeks have been it's just been crazy, man. And I know I keep kind of keep talking about it, but it's because it really has hit me, you know, to the core. You know, when you talk about Hayden Panettiere, the great Reggie Bannister from the Phantasm films, the great Tim Curry, and of course the legend Dolly Parton. I mean, these are actors and artists that just were so talented, and you know they touched so many people, you know, on the planet through their works and so forth. So it's just tough, but I wanted to make sure that we at least acknowledged them, and just a big rest in peace to all of them. And wow, it's just crazy. Kill, this was a lot of fun. You guys in the chat, leave us a comment. Derek, absolutely rest in peace to Tim Curry. You guys leave us a comment in the comment section. Let us know what film you'd like us to talk about next week. We got a couple of ideas, and you guys threw out some, and we'll probably we'll probably pick from them, but I got a feeling I know where we're gonna go. We'll see though. We'll see. We got some good ones that we put together tonight. So anyways, don't forget to hit the like button. It helps us out so much. We appreciate all of your support. It helps us out so much. I'm going to be releasing my new video, which is on the thing tomorrow, and hope that you guys check it out. As always, thank you to our channel members. You guys rock. If you're not a channel member, and if you'd like to help support the channel and also hang out with us for exclusive stuff, we would love to have you aboard. You can hit the join button next to the subscribe button. Again, thank all of you guys that are channel members. And like I was saying a couple weeks ago, there's some folks that have been channel members for for 4 years, almost 5 years. Is absolutely crazy. How does this even happen? We can't say thank you enough. So anyways, we will catch you guys next time. Take it easy as always. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. Peace.
Peace.